Welcome back to Buddy Buddy. Sorry for the delay. It's been a minute. Life's been crazy. But I'm back today with my friend Tyler. Tyler, thank you for being with us today.
Of course.
Yes. So, speaking on the delay, I've been in between jobs. I left the coffee shop where I met you.
Yes, sir.
Where we got to become friends. I started working for a moving company that was pretty terrible.
It's an experience.
It was an experience for a week. You got to hear a little about that. And
Yep.
then now I'm back working at a lawn care company, and I'm currently getting my real estate license. So we can talk about that in a little bit. But that just for the people that are listening and people that have been text messaging me where the next podcast is going to be. Sorry, life has been crazy, but we're back. So Tyler, tell me a little bit about your upbringing. I know you're not originally from South Carolina, so.
No, I'm not. I was born in Hartford, Connecticut.
Okay.
Lived there for about 7-8 years. Lived with my mom, just house hopping, apartment hopping. And then I moved with my aunt and uncle. Been living with them in Maine for about 10 years. And when I came down here, I was just in a rough spot. Needed something different. Needed a change. And now I'm here.
Now you're here. So when you moved down here because your dad lives here.
Yep.
I know your dad because of Bella and Moza. And so was your dad living up there in Connecticut with your mom at the time when did he move down here?
So he's originally from Detroit, I believe.
Yeah,
I don't know how long he was in Connecticut.
Yeah.
My mom had me when she was 18.
Okay.
He wasn't really in the picture for most of my life, but he always kept in contact. Always tried to reach out to me. Yeah, text, call every once in a while. Always say happy birthday, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Always on the holidays. He always kept in touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like I needed, a better connection with him, especially not growing up with him,
Yeah, for sure. I was never really sure of how the process happened because obviously I know that, I knew you were his child. I've seen pictures of you before I ever met you, and so I never asked John the story of your mom and him and how all that happened, and I didn't really get too in depth obviously because I know they're not together anymore, so I didn't want to step on toes or anything.
Yeah,
just trying to be respectful. But yes, that's good to know. Now I was just wanting to tie the dots or connect the dots so that I know a little bit more of your story. What made you want to move down to South Carolina? I know you mentioned you're in a rough spot, so you don't have to go in super in depth, but
yeah. So junior senior year of high school, I had no intentions, doing really anything. I just thought I was going to go into the workforce. Early, maybe towards the middle of my senior year, I applied for a few colleges, got in. I went there for a year, Thomas College, out in Waterville, Maine. Was doing business administration. I loved it. It was a lot of fun, but it was so expensive. Couldn't afford it. I took a gap year or two, I guess, afterwards. I wasn't really doing much of my life, just kind of sitting at home, hanging out with my friends, not working. And, it put me in a dark spot being so cooped up 24/7.
For sure.
Just need to get out of the house, do something.
Yeah.
But since being down here, I've been doing a lot better.
That's good to hear.
A lot better.
That's good to hear. I remember when John came to me, he's like, hey, I think my son's been down there. He was super excited because obviously, he'd been keeping in touch. And so he was excited to build a relationship with you, a deeper relationship with you.
Yeah.
And he told me that you were going to be working at Bella because obviously I was working at Bella at the time. And so I was like, well, that's exciting. I'm looking forward to meeting him and getting to know him and know about his story. And so it sucks that you were going through a hard time, but it took a lot of courage to say that I'm going to move from Maine or the north that you're from and said, all right, I'm going to move to the south to live with my father that I'm not really have a really good connection with. We have a relationship, but not super strong.
Right.
And I'm going to uproot my life, leave my friends, leave the people that I knew and start something new. Yeah. So how's it been down here in South Carolina so far? What's the differences in, I guess, the environment, north versus south?
The people down here, really, the community. Everyone's a lot nicer. Everyone seems to get along a lot better than they do up north.
Yeah.
Up north, it's just, hard-working fishermen,
Mm.
You know, yard work, construction. It's just,
Everybody kind of
our,
stays in their lane. They
yeah,
just work hard, provide for their family, but it's like not really. There's not much camaraderie.
yeah,
It's
no.
just.
You just kind of show up to work and work. You don't really talk to anybody.
Hmm.
I mean, you meet people when you get the job, when you're getting trained, whatever. But it's just like, here, do this, do that.
Hmm.
There you go. Here's your paycheck.
Yeah. So what now? You said it's way people are nicer down here.
Yes.
Uh, Give me some instances like who sticks out in your brain as like making you feel at home per se.
I mean, I don't really know. Since being at Bella, especially with the
Yeah.
customers are pretty nice
Yes.
for the most
For
part.
the most part.
There are a few people that, can get on your nerves.
Oh yeah.
But, working with customers up north, it's just, they're just rude. They're just outright rude.
Yeah.
They don't really talk much. They're just kind of like, they're looking for one thing and they're looking for the answer for it. And then once they get it, it's just gone.
Mm-hmm. I remember like that's one thing that I enjoyed in my time at Bella is like having customer interactions, and that's part of the reason why when I came back, I mean I was at Bella, left, worked at a lawn care company, pursued professional cornhole, and to make that work, I had to come back to Bella just for scheduling stuff.
Yeah.
I couldn't get enough time off to go travel and play these tournaments that I wanted to, and so I came back to Bella, and I remember Daniel was like, "Well, like you can come work at Drayton, like the cafe, because I know you like." I told him I was like, man, I really thrive more in the settings where I can actually have a conversation because obviously I was the manager at Reedville, the drive-through one for a while, uh, and that's good. It was fun, but like the customer interactions are a little forced and rushed because it's a drive-through,
Yeah.
and so you got to get the car out so you can serve the next car that's waiting in line behind them. And yeah, you can get to know some people, but like you can't really have long conversations. Versus at Drayton, you can actually, if they want to talk, like you can sit there and if they're in there to hang out, like they can sit there and you can talk with them for 30 minutes to an hour. And there's some customers that that's what they want. Like they want to come in there and it's like their break from their day and they want to talk to whoever's working with us, you or Kevin or me or your dad, and they just want to sit there and talk. And so that's what I really enjoyed and I loved about the customer service industry.
Yeah.
That's why I liked working in coffee for so long. But why did you? I mean, I know it's probably first choice because your dad works in the industry, working for Moza, the roasting company. Why have you still considered? Why are you still working in coffee now that you've been down here since?
So, throughout high school, I think I was around 15. I worked at a newspaper place called Ellsworth American up in Maine. Really just slow pace, kind of sitting around, waiting for other people to finish so you can do your job. But I was on and off that throughout high school. And then I worked at Walmart for a summer. So that's kind of where the customer service kind of ideal came up. But I did overnight. So it was just it was 10 p.m. to 7 a.m.
No thanks.
5 days a week.
Yeah.
So the store was open for like an hour. Didn't really deal with any customers. Had a few people come up and ask questions. Where's this? Where's that? But other than that, it was just kind of grab a cart, pick an aisle, and just stock stuff.
Yeah.
But since working at Bella, it's the first job I've actually enjoyed. Besides the negative people that come in every once in a while.
Yeah, you get those, but that's any business.
Right.
So
yeah, I don't want to say it's an easy job, but it's an easy job.
It is an easy job. Like that's a fair way to put it. Yes, there's rushes at every store that make you stressed out, or you're trying to get through everything really fast. But the aspect of I'm just here to serve you a caffeinated drink so you can enjoy your day and not feel groggy and like whatever. Like it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Like there's plenty of times, especially at Drayton, where you don't have customers and you're just chilling, talking to your dad or talking to whoever, or you're just chilling, hanging out. And that's one thing that for me though, like I got to the point, and that's partially, I mean, I needed a better job. I needed more money. I needed more stability in my life. And so that's why I decided to leave to begin with. But I got to the point in Bella where I was also like kind of getting discouraged. I kind of felt like, for me personally, a little bit how you felt like when you were up north, saying that you were just secluding yourself, like not doing anything with your life. You're just kind of just hanging out in your room, not doing anything. And I would feel that sometimes when I was at Drayton because, especially on closing shifts, like when you're there by yourself, like I might serve one person and I have like no like real responsibilities. Like I can stock and clean, but you might sit there literally or stand there like for no customers for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel like I'm just like wasting my life away in a way. And so I was like, I got to do something. And so that's why I decided to step away, figure out a job. Obviously, the first one was not great.
Not great. Yeah.
I thought I had it figured out, man. I really did. I was talking to my girlfriend Abby, and I was like, I'm gonna go work for this moving company. Like they make it seem like it's work when you want to work. Like there's work's always available. Like hours are here. Like, but if like for some reason something comes up, like if you can't come in the day, like no big deal. Like whatever. And I was like, I'll take advantage of this because I said I was like trying to get my real estate license. And that's what I'm working on right now. And I was like, all right. I was like, I'll just grind at this moving company, like work all the hours I can, get my license, and then once I got my license, I'll start weaning it back because they're like, I can work as many days as I want pretty much. So I can drop it and then work real estate on the side. I go show houses, whatever. And then I was like, well, then eventually, like I saw on their website they do like sales. Like I had this all roped out in my head, and I was like, I'm gonna talk to the manager. I'm gonna be like, well, man, once I get a real estate license, like, can I try to work and get some commissions of people that are trying to move to the area or move out of the area? I was like, I had it all planned out in my head. I was like trying to make some extra money, and then I get there and all crap broke loose, like crap at the fan. I was like, no thanks, bro. This place was all full. Like without saying names of businesses, because I'm not trying to shame anybody, but the work environment was rough. Like people smoking weed in the trucks, like buying alcohol at QT. That's supposed to be the dudes that are supposed to be in control of me or my leader for the day. Like, and then like people just took advantage of the system, like show up late to work, like all this stuff. And there was no structure really. And that's how desperate they were for work. And I was like, man, I can't do this. Like, I need some sort of structure. And so I went back to Weedman, and I'm enjoying it right now. Weedman lawn care. I'm doing aerations right now, plugging yards and putting seed down, and working with a buddy. He's now my buddy. I didn't know him at the time, but since we're doing aeration, I work as a team with two people, and we're just out there chugging along, doing our job. I'll put my AirPods in, be listening to real estate podcasts or like stuff, trying to like get ready for those days.
Yeah.
But no, that's been good. But have you thought about potentially changing jobs in the future or?
So, Paul, the owner of Bella Latte, he offered me a assistant manager position at one of his Little Caesars.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. The pay was better. I didn't get a lot of hours, at least at first. I only did it a few days.
Yeah.
But I was really considering doing that and Bella at the same time, just to make some extra cash.
Yeah.
But I did not like it at all. I had never worked in, I guess you could call it fast food. I've never worked in fast food before. So it was a different environment. People were great. People were really nice. But I just didn't like the work.
You didn't like
I was
slinging pizzas?
No, I was content at Bella.
Yeah.
Still am.
You're still content? How are things at Bella right now currently? I know there's a lot of people leaving. I know I left. Alex, my roommate now, is about to leave. He's moving to California. Grace left.
Yep.
Like, so how are things right now?
As far as Drayton goes, it's the same.
You and Kevin?
Just me and Kevin. I think in 2 weeks, the hours are changing. So it's going to be 7 to 2, Monday through Friday, 8 to 1 on Saturday. So, we don't ever get anybody come in after that, like 1, 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
threshold.
very rare.
It's very rare. I only worked at Dunkin' once for a few hours, and I mean, it wasn't the worst.
Yeah.
But I think I'd prefer to work at Reedville. Just the people working there. Logan's really cool.
Yeah.
Jordan, Savannah, Elijah, Abby, they're all super chill.
Yeah.
And, they can be busy at times, real busy.
Yeah.
You have a line going around the whole building. But when it's dead, you all just sit down, hang out, kind of talk. It's nice.
Yeah, for sure. That's one thing that I really liked about Reedville when I was there. for the sake of working with people. Like I worked with Kevin. I don't know if you know Kevin. It's Grace's boyfriend.
Grace's boyfriend, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I worked with Grace too. Grace and Kevin a lot, and then a girl named Caitlin. Caitlin was like my assistant manager. It's Alex McNeely. He was at Dunkin', the Dunkin' manager. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
It's his wife.
Okay.
That was before they were married. I was like the manager. She was like the assistant manager, and I worked with her a lot. But for what you were saying, like it was a lot of fun. Like being able to outside of the rushes, like having some community. Like there's no like real responsibility outside of like your chores, like getting things stocked or whatever, and having people to like just talk about whatever, life, whatever comes to rain was like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like we'd like start blaring music in there, like having little jam sessions.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I like Reedville a lot for that.
Yeah, it is. I enjoy it a lot more than Drayton.
Yeah, being around people was good.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed that. So
being at Drayton, I think that's what started a lot of me and my dad's, like deeper conversations. Just because, it's besides the morning, it's just empty. It's just me and him.
Yeah.
He's doing his roasting. I'm just kind of sitting there waiting for somebody to walk in.
Yeah.
And we'll just kind of sit there and just talk about anything, life, games we're playing, shows we're watching, just anything.
Mm-hmm. How's the whole house ordeal thing going with him? Did he get it sold yet or no?
Not yet. We put it on the market on Thursday. As far as, like Zillow, online sites like that, it's got a few hundred views, some saves, but only one person has come to look at it.
Yeah.
But, I think he said for the most part he seemed pretty interested, but we still haven't heard anything back.
Yeah.
But we're hoping to get out of there soon.
Yeah, kind of. You want to get that. He's wanting to get a bigger house so that y'all have more space.
Yes, more privacy.
Yeah, for sure. I know that's something definitely for you because I know that now that he's remarried and she has a kid.
Yeah.
Is it just y'all 2 kids and then Hayden comes sometimes on the weekends?
So yeah, it's me and my dad, stepmom, and then my stepsister, and then every other weekend it's my brother Hayden and Kat's son Declan.
Okay.
Yep.
So sometimes there's 4 people in there.
Yeah.
4 kids.
4 kids.
Wow, that's a house full.
Yeah.
So yeah, y'all definitely need a little more space.
Yeah, I hope.
For sure. Hopefully that'll come about soon.
Yeah, tomorrow we're going to look at a house in Cowpens.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Cowpens was one of the first places me and Abby had a little lunch date. It was around when we first started dating. We went to this little hole in the wall place in Cowpens. May or may not be where we had our first kiss in that parking lot after there. But yeah. Sorry, I don't want to just talk about my girlfriend. Well, speaking of girls, have you been on any dates since you've been down here in South Carolina?
No, I haven't. Just been so focused on work. I got my trip coming up.
Yeah, you're going back home for a little bit.
Yeah, my car payments. Expensive.
Yeah, the insurance has been killing you, ain't it?
Oh, it is. Yeah, I don't really have the money to go out and do anything.
That's fair.
And when I want to, it's I go to Greenville, go to the mall or something. Maybe go out to eat with my brother and his mom. I just try not to spend money as much as possible.
Yeah, no, it can be hard for you and your dad sometimes because y'all be buying like all the new video games.
Yeah.
I know y'all are really big into video games. What are some of the games that you're been into right now recently?
Recently, Counter-Strike 2 just came out.
Oh yeah, I heard that just came out.
Yeah. That's really it.
You're not playing that little racing game anymore?
No, I sold the wheel. Yep.
Sold the wheel and shifter?
Yep. Needed the money.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm in the process. I still have some home gym equipment. During like COVID, I made like a home gym, and now I'm just trying to like recoup some cash. And so my cousin's mother-in-law, so my cousin's wife, her mom is coming to pick up most of it tomorrow to buy it off of me. So yeah,
a little extra income,
a little extra money, trying to recoup some cash. I bought that couch, and when I bought a new couch, and when I bought the couch, the same week my AC went out. So I had like pretty much spent way more money than I needed to because I was like, my couches were beat down. Like it was time for a new couch. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to get a new couch. And as soon as I swipe the credit card for a new couch, it's like AC, I get home and it's like 85 in the house. I'm like, frick, I had to drop another $3,000 on getting the AC fixed. I'm like,
Yeah.
it was just like, so now I'm trying to recoup some money.
Yeah.
Just so I know how that feels. So I remember when the times when you were thinking about going back home, or where you were at Little Caesars, or when you were like trying to fill out if you're going to do that job or not. You joked about, or you were considering moving back home. Is that still in the picture, or are you pretty content down here in the South?
Um, as far as as far as work goes, I think that's one of the main reasons I am staying down here, at least at the moment.
Yeah.
Just because I haven't had a job that I actually enjoy.
Yeah.
And me and my dad had a talk, that I should really think hard about this trip, because if I think it's gonna sway me and I wanted to just stay up there,
Yeah.
or wanted to go back, that I shouldn't go. But I think I am gonna stay down here, at least, until I was supposed to, because I was supposed to stay until like next summer. So we'll see when that time comes around how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get up to Maine at least once before the snow comes,
That's fair.
because you only get summer and winter up there. That's all it is.
Yeah, there's
Snow is 8
no four
months out of the
seasons.
year.
It's just
Nope.
So yeah, that makes sense. But that's still gonna be really exciting though. Going back, I see where John's coming from of wanting you to be cautious of that and not be, once you get around old friends and stuff, that you'll be encouraged to stay.
Right.
But if you think this is what's best for you at the moment, is being down here till the end of summer or whatever, then yeah, I would pursue that and do that. But I mean, if you get you kind of establish yourself, figure out who you are, what you want to do. Like if you ever do feel like you need to go back, then I think you understand you're an adult that it's best for you and best for your situation.
Yeah.
So how has it been? I know you enjoy Reedville because you said that there's more the people really hanging out with. How's it been building a community or building friends since you've been down here in the South?
It's been good. Yeah. Me and Jordan get along pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
Me and Savannah get along pretty well. Yeah, it's just some people you work with are just so locked in at Reedville that you'll be sitting on your phone during like a dry run for a few minutes, and you'll turn around, and if there's something that needs to be done, it's already done. Because the other person's just wants to get out of there.
Yeah.
Wants to go home, get their job done.
But so yeah, you seem like you're making some friends. Have you made any friends that are outside of Bella?
Not really, no.
I know, because I know you're trying to save money, so like putting yourself out there in like social circles is kind of hard. Like, if you were ever in a spot where you needed to make friends, I mean, I could always come to church with me. There's plenty of good people if you ever need some people to like make some friends. But that's one reason why I've struggled making friends throughout my life. Is like, man, like I don't want to spend money.
Right.
Like I don't want to go like hang out at these public spaces like a bar or somewhere and like have to spend X amount of dollars just to hope to meet a couple people.
Right.
And I think that's part of the reason why like I like was single for so long. Like I eventually, like before I met Abby, like I was like, man, like how am I supposed to meet people? Like I know the people at my church, like there's only certain people there, so I'm not meeting anybody really new. And then I'm working, and then I was playing cornhole at the time. I was like, I'm not meeting new people. Like, how am I supposed to meet a girl? Like, how am I supposed to like, find a girlfriend when I'm not meeting new people? But you were actually with me the day that I met Abby.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually turned to you that day, and I said, I'm gonna find this girl on Instagram. She came in, and when we served her, and I was like, I recognize this girl. And I was like, I'm finding her. I let you, I'm finding her. And then like 5 minutes later, I was like, I DM'd her on Instagram.
Yep. I already was following you from high school, right?
Yeah. Well, we found out that she started, you can look at it on Instagram. She started following me in 2016. And so I joke with her about that now. But if it wasn't for her, though, doing that, like I would not have recognized her. I wouldn't have known who she was really outside of that. And so I found her on Instagram that day, and the rest is history. And now we're joking about getting married, so we'll see how that goes.
Making big steps.
Big moves. Things with her are going really well. Really well. I told her yesterday, I said, life right now just doesn't feel real. Like, I'm so blessed at this current moment. Like, God has, like, truly blessed me. Like, I'm comfortable with my job. I'm in a very healthy relationship with her. I'm in good community with my friends and family. Like, I don't really have anything super pressing at the moment, less of like stressing me outside of like the AC going out and having to pay to get my AC fixed. Like, and so I told her, I was like, life just feels like a dream right now. Like, I'm just like telling her like this, it's just so sweet, and I'm just trying to cherish every moment of it before like stress starts hitting me again or some situation happens and life gets hard. Like, I just want to like bask in this moment. But this season of life has just been so sweet, and she's been a big blessing in that. And so I'm just
enjoying it while it lasts.
Enjoying it while it lasts. Hopefully it lasts for a long time. I understand like going into real estate, that's going to bring some stress whenever I get fully licensed and try to do that. And that's going to bring some hard times because you're on commission. I understand like in the long run, it's going to help me get to where I want to go. Like help me to like build an income that I want and sustain a lifestyle that I would love. But it's going to take a lot of effort. It's not just going to be I'm going to get licensed and all my friends are going to start reaching out saying, hey man, I need a house, or I need you to like, I want you to list my house. It's going to take a lot of effort. Like kind of like this podcast is going to, it's going to take me like putting myself out there. Like I'm going to have to start making videos about real estate. I'm going to have to start calling people that I hadn't talked to in forever and just
reaching
out to anybody I can, cold calling people, like people I didn't know idea who they are. Like, it's gonna be hard, and that's what's gonna like I'm gonna get tested. But right now, I'm just
it's a competitive business.
Competitive business, but when I bought this house that we're in, like man, it was like one of the process of it was so enjoyable for me. It is stressful, like trying to find a lender and trying to find a house, and you're trying to get all the paperwork signed and make sure you got all your like T's crossed and your I's dotted, and you're trying to make sure everything's all in like got everything in a line so that you can move into this house on the closing day that you're supposed to have. But the feeling of like at least for a first time homeowner, like the feeling of moving into a house that's like now yours, it's a really cherishing, like really sweet feeling. And I hope I can help some people that are first time home buyers like experience that feeling of like at least like even like married couples like experiencing having their first home, and it's like a really cool feeling. I want to the feeling I had, I want to help other people pass that on. And then obviously other people, like older people, they're like, all right, man, I just need the money. Like my house is worth this amount. I've lived here for 30 years. Like I just need to sell it. But okay, I'll help you do that too.
Right.
But
yeah, when we first moved up to Maine, we lived with my uncle's parents for a year or two, maybe. It wasn't very long. We ended up renting like a 2-bed, 1-bath house, like an hour away from where they were living. We were there for, man, I don't know, a long time.
Yeah.
7, 8 years, maybe more, maybe less.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it was a long time. We were so excited to get out of that house. But just not only the moving process, but looking for a new home, buying a new home, it was so stressful for them. But I could just, as soon as we moved in, I could just see how content they were, how happy they were to be in their own home.
Yeah, and that's the feeling that I want to pass on. Like, there's nothing wrong with renting. Like, sometimes it's actually the right decision is to live in an apartment or rent a house, like whatever. Sometimes it's not the right move to buy a house and like be locked into a mortgage until you sell it. Like, sometimes it's smarter to say, oh man, I'm only going to live here or this area for less than a year, and then I got this plan where I'm just waiting on somebody to get out of school and then I'm moving out of state. Like, renting is the move. Like, it's not always to buy, but for people that are trying to get established in a certain area, like the feeling of security in a home is so sweet. And because renting, like you don't know that the landlord could call you like, all right, raising the rent. Nothing you can do about it. It's either you pay it or you're not. Versus like a mortgage payment, it's like, no, it's set. Like until I decide to sell this house, my mortgage payment is X amount. And like it's just such a cool feeling. And you're like building equity in the home. And technically, like, yeah, I'm spending X amount of dollars every month, which renting, it's like, it's just gone. Like, you just gave it to a landlord, and you'll never see it again. But for me, like, I'm technically paying it, but I'm also, part of it's going to interest, which sucks, but I'm paying down the house. Like, eventually, one day, years down the road, it'll be paid off.
Yeah.
And then if I were to sell it or whatever, it's like all profit.
Yeah.
Like versus that money in renting, like you just lose it. So
Right.
if you rent somewhere for 10 years, like that money's just gone.
Yep.
But so home ownership is cool. I'm excited to get into real estate. It's been really exciting. Like Weed Man has been really beneficial for me recently because like I don't have to really talk to customers. My coworker does because he's like my lead, and so he does like all like after we're finished with a job, he has to go to the door and talk to people. So really, like I can kind of just stay in my own world and just get out of the car, get out of the truck as soon as we get to a house, bang out the yard, do what we got to do, get back in the truck, get ready to do the next yard. And so I just leave my AirPods in, and I've just been listening to so many podcasts, like anything I can get my ears on like real estate, becoming a realtor, or real estate investing, just like trying to get ready for that time whenever I can get licensed so that I don't feel like behind. Like, all right, I'm licensed now, but what do I do?
Right.
So now I'm trying to like get everything ready. But no, I'm excited for it. And me and Abby have like a pretty good plan for our life. And so now I'm just ready to put it into action.
Right.
So
I think you're gonna do good.
I hope so. I hope I can do really well. I think I'm pretty comfortable talking to people. It's just gonna get past the awkward, like the cold calls or people that I don't really know, like getting in front of them and being confident. Like not just like I'm trying to sell you on something.
Right.
Like I don't like those people. Like
Right.
I've interacted with those people in anything, like selling a couch or buying a couch or whatever. When you talk to people and you can tell that in the podcast I listen to, they call it commission breath. They call it like you can smell it. Like whenever you can tell that all they care about is buy this so that I can get a paycheck versus like trying to help the person, truly help them and separate yourself from the outcome of if they buy or not, and truly just help them for what their situation is and talk to them and meet them where they are. That's the people that I want to interact with to buy from. Like I don't want people to like press me and be like comparing this to this. Like just you can tell that all they're trying to do is just get money out of me versus like truly help me for what I need.
Right.
And so yeah. So that's what I'm trying to get to. I don't want to have quote unquote commission breath where
Right.
people are like, "Oh, Andrew's only calling me because he wants money." And
Money changes people.
it does. Sure. It definitely does. That's for sure. But dude, thank you for sitting down with me for a little bit. I really just wanted to catch up with you and see what's going on because life for me this past few weeks, month has been crazy. My last podcast was a month ago, and that was with Abby. And this past month has been nuts. Like in between jobs, getting that established. Like I've been at all her volleyball games, like trying to support her, and I just haven't had much time to sit down with people. But I appreciate you being like flexible because I know we tried to do it once before and it didn't work.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful that you're down here in the South. I'm grateful that I get to hang out with you some until you decide what you do next in the summer. But dude, I appreciate you and thank you for coming to hang out with me.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.